Hello and welcome. Today we're going to talk about something that is often overlooked in the fertility space, and that is male factor fertility. Because we've been told that it's just about the egg, it's all about egg quality, but the truth is that sperm plays a very important role in getting and staying pregnant. And if there's one thing that I have learned in helping people get their path to baby cleared, is that it's 50% him, 50% her. And if we are only focusing on the egg, we are missing a huge part of the fertility journey. In this video, we're going to talk about the role of sperm. We're going to talk about what clinics miss because they miss something very important, and also food and lifestyle habits that you can implement to help you get and stay pregnant and become a parent in 2025. The role of sperm is a very important one when it comes to getting and staying pregnant. Sperm makes up 50% of the genetic material of your embryo, of your baby. It's him and it's her. And so often we are told as women that it's just the egg, it's your body, it's you, but we don't even look at the man. And that is so incorrect, because there's so much that we can glean about implantation, about miscarriage, about embryo quality that comes from the sperm. A lot of genetic abnormalities that can lead to something like miscarriage are dictated by what's going on with the sperm. Your uterine and embryo quality is dictated by what's going on with the sperm. We've known for a long time that the male dictates the gender of the baby, but we've kind of just ignored all of the other things that male factor fertility can impact. And one of the things that we aren't talking about enough is that unexplained infertility is not just about her age, her eggs. It can also be brought down to what's going on with the sperm. And so when we ignore this 50% influence, we are missing the mark, because that means that you might spend more money on IVF. That might mean that you are looking into donor eggs. That might make you think that you are just infertile and it's never going to happen for your family. But if you are not testing all of the metrics of sperm, you could be missing very key factors that are impacting your ability to get and stay pregnant. And I say get and stay pregnant because if there is an issue with sperm quality, you might not even be able to get pregnant. Those sperm might be so just wily and not good quality that even though they're getting to the egg, they cannot penetrate the egg, it cannot implant the egg. Now, also when it comes to staying pregnant, you might have some very messed up DNA material within that sperm that is causing genetic issues that mean that you cannot take your pregnancy to term. You either miscarry naturally, or it is discovered that the baby is not viable and it just simply will not make it to term. And again, we poke and we prod a woman and we say, it's you, it's your age, it's this, it's that. But often, 50% of the time, it is actually down to what is going on with the sperm. And so when we don't test everything that we need to in order to understand what's really going on with the sperm, we miss the mark. Something that most clinics miss, and it is doing, again, such a disservice to couples and people trying to get pregnant, is they test sperm concentration, sperm morphology, and sperm motility. So concentration, how many there are, morphology, like what their shape is like, and motility, how well they swim. And that is important information to know. However, if we are not testing DNA fragmentation in the sperm, we are not getting the full picture, because someone can go get their sperm tested and the concentration, the morphology, and the motility are all normal. But if there are DNA issues within that sperm that we did not test to find out, that can cause, again, issues with embryo quality, miscarriage, genetic issues. And again, when you think about the full battery of tests a woman has to go through to do IVF, to do IUI, to do any of these things, and then we just test these simple metrics of sperm, but not the most important one, you can see how couples are getting a very fragmented picture of what's going on with their fertility on a whole. And, women will go into the fertility clinic space and be told they're old, they waited too long, they don't have enough eggs, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And a man will go in and get a few things tested and be told you're normal, it's not you, when the whole time it could have been him. And so if you are going to a fertility clinic, the one thing that you absolutely must do is push for sperm quality testing, but make sure that DNA fragmentation is a part of that testing. Otherwise, we are not getting a full picture. And this isn't to say that your fertility clinic is trying to screw you. They might not be. They might be. I mean, some are. That being said, when you know what to ask for, you get better diagnostics. And in some cases, they just don't place the importance on it. But if you, as a paying customer, and in most cases, a very expensive paying customer, you have the right to ask for the testing and the diagnostic that you want to help you sort of clear your path forward, or at least clear your understanding of what is going on. You have to know these things to be able to advocate for yourself. The beauty about sperm versus eggs is that sperm is always being made. And so we have a lot of opportunity to change the dynamic of sperm very quickly. Egg quality, same, but you don't have an unlimited amount of eggs. You have all the eggs you are going to have when you are born. When you are thinking about sperm, they're making themselves every 3 months. So that gives a lot of room for improvement. But what messes with the DNA fragmentation and the DNA makeup of sperm is oxidative stress. You know, are you super stressed? Are you stressed from a biological perspective? So your blood sugar's out of whack, your gut, your liver, your digestion, etc. Or is it from an emotional perspective? Have you dealt with something that is like a lot of grief? Are you dealing with very stressful people in your life? Do you lack boundaries? Like, there's so many things that can affect DNA fragmentation, but oxidative stress, whether it comes from physical or it comes from mental, will absolutely affect the sperm quality in your body. Another thing is age. We are told as women that it's all about our age. You're too old, you waited too long. And men have this very distorted belief that their sperm is high quality until they're 80, 70, because Larry King had kids when he was in his 70s. I mean, it's very possible to have children at that age, but again, it's about the quality of your sperm. They are lucky in the sense that sperm is always being created. That being said, when you age, your sperm quality ages. The place where the sperm is made, the vessel of the sperm, also ages, and that will have an effect unless you get ahead of it. Now, oxidative stress is bad just for everything. It's bad for your skin. It makes you age quickly, but it also makes all of these metrics of fertility age quickly as well. Oxidative stress is bad for your eggs. It's bad for your uterine quality. It's bad for your sperm. It's bad for your body. And something that you need to think about eggs and about sperm is you don't fix them in isolation. It's not like, oh, I'm just going to work on my eggs. I'm just going to work on my sperm. When you fix the body and you make your body baby friendly, whether you're a man or a woman, that will by extension improve your egg quality, your sperm quality, and your ability to get and stay pregnant. When it comes to sperm, the most influential thing that we can do is change our diet and change our lifestyle. And you want to be thinking about what are the things that I can improve that are going to, again, by extension, improve fertility. As a male or as a female, you want to be thinking these things. For men, you absolutely want things like zinc. You're going to find it in red meat. I am a fertility coach that is highly suggesting eating red meat because it is very nutrient dense. Hormones love nutrient density, and red meat is dense in all the nutrients that speak to good fertility. Zinc is one of them. Selenium is another thing. Selenium will, again, help with things like oxidative damage. Brazil nuts are fantastic for selenium. Eat 3 a day and you've got your selenium for the day. Another thing you want to be thinking about is omega fatty acids. Omega fatty acids and the presence of them in our body, and just good fats in general, help with hormone balance, things like testosterone and lowering inflammation, which all cause, especially inflammation causes oxidative stress. We want to get rid of as much inflammation as possible, and healthy fats help us do that. You also want to just be thinking about antioxidants, berries, green tea like matcha, eating things like citrus, really focusing on liver health, because antioxidants prevent or clear up any oxidative stress that's in your life. Your diet matters so much. If you are a big beer drinker, you're going to stop doing that. If you are someone that has to have an alcohol beverage every single day, that has to stop. If you smoke, smoking is actually not as bad for egg quality. It's bad, but it's not as bad for egg quality as it is for sperm quality. So if you smoke and you and your partner are trying to get and stay pregnant, it is time to quit smoking. Also, if you are carrying extra weight, especially that visceral fat around your middle, that is going to contribute to hormonal imbalances in men and in women, because fat, the presence of good fat, helps the production and regulation of hormones. But when you have too much of it, it's too much of a good thing. And so exercising, not drinking as much or drinking less, not smoking, and I know that can be very hard for people, but that is a very big contributing factor to issues with sperm quality. And so making sure that when you are maximizing what you eat, it is also speaking to good fertility. Having your plate be foods that are not processed. Processed foods have no place because they're bad for your digestion, bad for processing of those nutrients, which is so essential for the delivery of all these things in your body that will speak to good fertility and good sperm health. And again, because there is so little importance placed on like sperm DNA, we often don't really give the credence what food is going to do to help us. There's also things like CoQ10 and acetylcysteine, which are supplements that really help with DNA and mitochondria in the body. And again, rest, lowering your stress, understanding how to eat for blood sugar, understanding gut and liver processing. All of that is going to release a lot of cortisol, a lot of inflammation in the body, and that is going to improve your sperm quality by extension. But the type of coaching that I do is about making your body baby friendly. In the process of achieving good fertility, good sperm health, good egg quality, you are sleeping better, your digestion is better, you don't feel tired after meals, you feel full and satisfied from the food that you eat, you feel like you have energy for life. And those are the signs of good fertility, because good fertility leaves cues. If you feel tired and run down, you have headaches all the time, that is telling you that there's something going on in your body. And if your body is dealing with bad digestion, inflammation, it will take all of the energy for reproductive health and it will take it and divert it to just fixing those problems, because those are more important. Fertility is a luxury function in the body. And when the body does not feel safe, it does not feel well funded from a nutrient perspective, what it does is it takes the energy from the fertility space in your body and it puts it where it needs to be for like survival, digestion, cortisol regulation, blood sugar management, etc. But once we release the weight and the pressure of those things, then your body has energy and safety to actually prioritize getting and staying pregnant, whether you're a man or a woman. To conclude, I just want to really drive home that it's not just about the egg. This is a partnered experience. If you are a male and you are trying with your female partner to get and stay pregnant and you have faced challenges and you've been told that your sperm is normal, her numbers are normal, and it's just unexplained, I really encourage you to dig a little deeper. I encourage you to put together a plan that focuses on blood sugar, gut health, liver processing, anti-inflammation and stress management in the body, because the house that the sperm lives in is the most important factor to good sperm quality. It will not be fixed with simply taking one supplement. It will not be fixed by just quitting smoking. It is many things. It's a habitual lifestyle change that also prepares you for the journey that is parenthood, especially if you're a woman. But even if you're a man, when you have a child, when your family welcomes a child, it takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of brain capacity. And if your body is already depleted from just life and how you live, that is going to make this experience not as enjoyable as it could be. I say this to the ladies and I'm saying it to the men. If you want to work with me and you want a plan that factors in all of the things that we mentioned, but in a way that fits with your life, send me a message, comment, and I will reach out to you. Sending you baby dust.